All right, well, check it out. This is a slab of red maple. I think it's red maple. Got a bunch of figure in it. And there's a little piece behind it as well. I step back so you can see it. And I'm going to, I've been asked to make this into a table. So actually this part here is going to be cut off. And we're going to glue on the pieces behind it. We're going to glue it onto that edge. And so they'll end up with one live edge section here. And it's too thick, so it's got to be, I'm going to re-saw it on the sawmill down to about 1 inch thick. So that's the project. That's what we're working on or getting started on today. All right, you can see I got it on the sawhorses. I got the sacrificial strips I'm going to cut through there. So this is just like everything else, this is a giant compromise. We couldn't find a piece that was highly figured. The owner and I went shopping for this. So we couldn't find a piece that was highly figured and was long enough and wide enough. So we found this piece, which was, you know, we thought would be fabulous with this live edge out here. And so it's got to be, it's long enough, but so I'm going to end up, you can see the pencil mark on there. I'm going to cut that part off, but I'm going to start out with that. So let's cut that off. Got to start somewhere. A lot of tension in this wood. I knew there'd be a lot of tension in that wood. Yeah. Anyway, so that's what we're going to do, is just kind of get it down to some sizes that I can work with. And that's step one. Let's go get the next piece and straighten out an edge on that. Well, unfortunately, we could not find two pieces out of this tree. Couldn't find another piece of this tree that would fit to make this half. So it's going to be different. As you can see, this one is actually not flat. I'm going to have to flatten that out with a planer, hand planer, before I put it on the sawmill and resaw it down to about 1 inch. So, bunch more work to do. All right, that is now flat. And I think what I'll do at this point is I'll bring it down to the shop and joint this edge. And then try to match it up to that one. And then put them on the sawmill and get them down to some kind of a same thickness. So this is going to be see, this one's got to get planed flatter as well. And I'm not sure if they're going to stay flat, but we're going to try my best to get them. That's why I'm glad I'm working with thicker stuff, that I get to try to mess with it to try to get it to be flat, because you know that there's so much tension in these boards. You take some off and they move around. Anyways, let me flatten that one out, and then we'll take them down to the shop and joint them. All right, that is surprisingly very close to being flat. So these are going to go together. Of course, the joint is awful, and they came from two different trees, but this is, like I say, this is all a giant compromise. I think I'll take them down to the shop. We'll joint these edges, and then we'll probably put them on the sawmill and get them down to the same thickness, or get them down to the same thickness, close to what I'm looking for. So, and I think that's going to be about 1 inch. All right, down to the shop. I'll be back in a second. All right, they've both been kind of straightened on with the joiner, and the flat side's actually on the bottom. I'm going to put them on the sawmill one at a time, clamp them down with that clamp down there, and then saw them to about 1 inch thick. So let me get this sawmill uncovered and get that going. All right, there it is, down to, it's down to 1 1/8 inches, and pretty flat. Now we got this one here. Hopefully it's gonna go just as well. Well, they're two different colors, but they are down to just over an inch, like an inch and a 1/16, inch and an eighth. And from here, it's I'm going to get the homeowner to come up here and actually take a look at them, see what surfaces they want up and down. That's pretty nice. They want this edge, so I don't know if they want that up or down. Anyways, they're getting a little bit more manageable. So I planed this edge with the 12-inch power planer. I didn't get this corner here. And then I ran this one through the thickness planer because it's less than 12 inches. And I jointed them. The joint actually looks pretty nice. And I'm going to glue them up. And the homeowner came by and decided they wanted this side up, and that side up. So it's I think I'm gonna glue it and leave it for 24 hours. I've got other stuff to do, and when I come back tomorrow, I can start the actual trying to smooth up the tops. Gotta figure out what to do about these wormholes. I couldn't get rid of them. Won't stop moving around. Time for a clamp. Turning into work. Take off a layer. He doesn't want to. You don't need to see me the whole thing. I'll be here for a while trying to get this joint. It's slightly cupped, which is not making it easy. And we'll get this sanded down, and then it'll be varnish time. Well, I'll give you a little update on this table. I did get it glued together, like I showed in the last clip. And I did sand it all down to, I think, to 220. And it had a bunch of defects, wormholes, and some holes, and a crack down here. And I filled them with epoxy. And it looks terrible at the moment. Oh, geez, I'm not even probably looking at the right thing. But I filled all the holes with epoxy, and then I'm going to take this scraper, and I'm going to scrape these all down to this surface, because I don't want to plane it, because the surface is actually really nice now. So I'm going to scrape those down, sand them again, and then go about, I got to straighten this edge, and then they want a curve here, and one at this end, and probably ease this edge. I got to clean all the bark off of this side. And then I'm going to flip it over, and try to get the bottom respectable. And then at that point, I can put a coat of varnish on it, or 2 or 3 or 4, and it'll be ready to be installed. So let me get the scraper going and see if that even is going to do anything. Should do something. So that's what I'm after, just down to this. And now it's the hump's all done. I'll be able to sand that with 220. And let's just sand that just to see what it looks like. I think it's time for a new disc. No, what did I do here? Helps if you put sandpaper on the bottom. Well, still some imperfections. I might fill these little voids here with another layer of epoxy. We'll have to see. Anyway, let me get started on this, and I'll give you the update. I don't know how much you want to see me scraping away at this stuff. I'll be here a while. Hold on. Well, I got it sanded down, but you can see there are some voids that I'm going to end up filling. I want to get all these filled. I'm going to take the time and do it right. Fill all these voids. And I think there are, what is there, one down here? No, those look pretty good. I don't have a heat gun. So that would be nice to put on the epoxy, hit it with the heat gun or the hair dryer to pop all of the bubbles. But excuse me, I'm just going to do what I've been doing is I'll mix up some more epoxy and fill these little voids, try to get them all to look kind of like this. I can't go on to the next step till this is done. This is really got to get this surface done. All right. Next time you see me, I'll have this finished and we'll start cutting this to shape. Here's the back side of the table. You can see the epoxy that came through the wormholes. So I'm going to plane this joint nicely and take care of this edges and then sand this just smooth, and then we're going to flip it over and put some varnish on this thing today so that try to stabilize it. I still have to clean off the bark along the edge. So it's getting closer. Well, I forgot to turn the camera on, but I put on the first coat of gloss polyurethane. Hopefully you can see that. Grain is coming out pretty nice. And there we have it. It's kind of, we're going to have to sand all this off. I used a foam brush, but the foam brush I'm not impressed with the foam brush. I think I'm going to have to get another brush, one for oil, that will do a better job of spreading the varnish. All right. I'm going to let that set up. I actually did the bottom, then flipped it over, and this is the top. So let that dry, and I'll come back and put another coat on. All right, well, the sun's not really out, but I'm wondering if you guys can see that. That's what the table top looks like. It would have been nice if this top had been closer to this, but right now it's not set on the pedestals. This top's going to get removed, and there you have it. Tabletop in an Airstream. All right, thanks for watching. Catch you on the next video.